Is the Norwegian royal family only a bunch of vampires sucking financial blood from their people? Hello and welcome to Royal Splendor Insights, your reliable royal channel, and I am your host, Petra von Strax. Well, welcome to this very, very tough question, but a question that has to be asked. These days, when we look up north, we find that the Norwegian royal family is deeply embroiled in scandal. It is not only the name Jeffrey Epstein that tarnishes the royal family's reputation. It's also the crown princess's Mette-Marit's son, Marius, who is sitting in waiting for his jail sentence, which is due to come in June, beginning of June. We have such a lot of troubles. We have health issues as well of the king and queen as of Mette-Marit herself. She has respiratory problems for many, many years now, and they even say that she has to have a new lung. Mette-Marit's way into the royal family was bumpy, to say the least. She had problems from the start because she was a waitress, and she used to be a party girl, being deep into drug stuff, and really, really people you shouldn't have to do with. And so everything was quite problematic. She had a son from a former relationship, which she brought into the relationship with the crown prince. And no matter what, they both got married, but the problems did not ebb away. She started having problems flying, and she often couldn't go on public engagements because she didn't want to fly. But as we today know, she could fly perfectly well to the USA and meet Jeffrey Epstein. That is for another day if you should be interested. And tell me in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell. Thank you. Okay, so the point is always, if a royal family functions, if they do their duty for their country, people tend to be quite tolerant with them. But in Norway, this tolerance runs low. And now Norwegians, especially their parliament, looks into the financial side of things, which means that they dig deep when it comes to royal finances, and they find not so good things. If you now compare the Norwegian royal family to, for example, the British royal family, you will very, very soon find out that the English king is way, way richer than the Norwegian. Harald gets only $1.5 million per year, and his son Håkon $1.3 million. Whereas, as you can see here on this chart, King Charles receives $175.9 million per year from the sovereign grant, which has to pay for his public duties and the public duties of the working royals. They all get paid from this sovereign grant. He also has a private income of 32.7 from the Duchy of Lancaster, at $32.7 million, whereas Prince William has $30.7 million from the Duchy of Cornwall, which is also his private income. He also gets some money from the sovereign grant when it comes to royal travels. So if he travels as Prince of Wales, he gets paid for that from the sovereign grant. Now, when Håkon started his work as crown prince, he got $230,000 only. And then he got married, and he moved with his wife and family to the estate of Skaugum. Skaugum was in a very bad state at that moment, so it had to be renovated. you have to keep in mind that Skaugum is their private home. So they took money from the bank to finance this. And they made a deal with the parliament. That deal meant they would get money, an increased allowance, to pay back to the bank. Okay, this was quite friendly, but anyway, that was the deal. And so they got an increased salary of $450,000 per year, which is not that much if you consider what the King of England and his son do get. Okay, so they got this money, and it was also agreed that they would not only get the money, but as soon as the bank was being paid back, their allowance would go back to $230,000 per year. But guess what? Right, that did never happen. So today, their allowance even increased to 1.3 million US dollars. And now, of course, public starts asking questions. Not only why they have not built back, so to speak, their allowance, but why the lines between the public office and the private endeavors are so blurred. It came out, for example, in 2016 that they used royal staff to do private work for them. Like, for example, a chauffeur. They had chauffeurs who should only take them to their public engagements, but they used these chauffeurs also to be driven around on their private functions. So that was a bit of a problem, since Norway has this long standing culture of low tolerance for perceived privilege, and also a deeply rooted egalitarian political tradition. And that was really a problem for the royal family. And until this very day, they are completely intransparent when it comes to this separation between public office and private endeavors. They are completely intransparent when it comes to money. So the taxpayer never knows where his money is really going. And this is becoming a steady problem for the royal family. And they really have to make up their minds and try explaining, start being really transparent with people's money. And maybe this is one first step into a royal future. Until this very day, we don't see any improvement on this side of the story. We even see the future Queen of Norway, Ingrid Alexandra. She is studying these days in Australia and goes on the same path as her parents have, because she frequently travels to and fro Australia, Norway, Australia, and back for public engagements, for private engagements. And she does that with private jets. And guess who's paying? Right, the taxpayer. And they are really not happy with this. Maybe Ingrid Alexandra will one day understand the problem her people has with this kind of spending, not only ecological-wise, but also financial-wise. And maybe she will change her habit if she has the time left, because that is the real question. How long is Parliament accepting this behavior, and how long are the people accepting it? a growing number of Norwegians is calling for a republic, and maybe they will face the same problems as does the British royal family, with all these yellow posters being lifted, all these yellow shirts they have to face when they come outside. So a royal family can do so much good for their country if only they do not hunt for their own perks and privileges. I do hope they will see the correct path. They will follow the example of Spain, of the Netherlands, of Belgium, and others, and Sweden, who do a really, really good job as royals. And hopefully they realize what is the right thing to do. And let's all hope together. And if you're interested in more of these topics, just stay tuned. No, just subscribe to the channel, and I see you soon. Bye!